you state your names and age for your viewers?
Rosa Merrill, 26.
And I'm Jonathan Merrill, 29.
What is your reason for making this video?
I think the reason for making this video is maybe because we have a story, our experience in the Joplin tornado. We've only been sharing it with our family members and some close friends, but I feel like our story is a unique one, and there's something special about it, and it's something hard for us to tell.
What distinguishes your story from the hundreds of other stories survivors have told regarding their experience in the Joplin tornado?
We had a baby.
We had a little baby boy the morning of the Joplin tornado.
Yeah, we were both teen parents. It was our first child.
Very first child. It was something new, of course, to us being so young.
Yeah.
Was we ready? I mean, ideally, mentally, no. But
How long has it been since your experience that day?
Almost 10 years, about 9.5.
close to 10 years.
Who all have you shared your story with so far?
Close friends. That's it.
Yeah, a couple guys at the job. Every time I tell them the story, they're shocked. They're like, "Oh man, that's crazy." They're like, "Oh, I remember that." But then sometimes when I mention it again, they don't really remember me. They don't like see that, oh man, you really was in there. And then I tell them that my son was born that morning, and then they're like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "I need to tell you this. I want to hear all about it, but I don't really got the time, we don't got the time to do that right now." And it's a very hard story to tell, I think, from what we've seen.
Yeah.
It's a pretty hard story to tell.
Is there a reason you haven't gone public with your story? Why wait over 9 years?
I don't think there's any specific reason for me anyways. Doesn't really come up in conversation very much. And he hasn't really started doing any video stuff until here recently, so.
And it was just hard to get my wife on board to want to actually sit down and talk and tell the world our experience with this tornado and what we had to endure. What was it? Must have felt like forever, but it was only 3 days, and what we've seen. And I just feel like our story is something that everybody needs to hear.
We were in the hospital for 5 days.
5 days.
5.
Jesus.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like that.
Mm-mm.
No. What was the question again?
Is there a reason you haven't gone public with your story
I think
before?
we answered it.
Yeah, and I also feel like the reason that we haven't gone public with it, because I never really knew about the whole YouTube thing or
We said that already.
TikTok or Twitter or anything like that. I wasn't really all about that social media stuff back in the day, so not even Facebook that much. Maybe MySpace, but
No, we were on Facebook, just not all the time. We didn't really have a
following.
or a phone.
Yeah. Or phone or internet. True that, babe.
Do you feel your story deserves more attention? For example, are you willing to have your story adopted into a movie or TV show?
I don't know. I feel like I don't feel like we're more deserving
Not at all.
Than any other person that was in a Joplin tornado.
What I feel
everybody
like
has their own story.
Yeah, what I feel like everybody went through the same exact thing, the same exact kind of trauma that we went through. The only thing I feel like is different, I feel like it should gain a little more attention, is the fact that how old my wife was, the fact that we were so young, and the fact that it was our first child, and that it was just a beautiful day, and then all of a sudden, and once we go more detail into the story of the actual tornado, being inside the tornado and what we experienced, I think brings a whole lot more effect. And, rather than just tell you, we was in the Joplin tornado on the 8th floor of St. John's, my wife gave birth that morning, there was way more to that fucking story than what meets the eye. So
Yeah.
you know.
Before we begin your story, is there anything you want to say to your viewers?
Thank you for listening.
Yeah, I appreciate you stopping by, and hope you enjoy our story and our experience of the Joplin tornado.
May 22nd, 2011. How did this day begin for you two?
Watch, a hospital destroyed right behind me here in Joplin, a St. John's Regional Medical Center. That hospital took a direct hit.